Welcome and thanks for taking a moment out to watch my video. I'm Jeff Wheatley with the Suburban Properties Group at Keller Williams, and I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk about what's happening in the market. You see, many properties are getting multiple offers on them. In fact, we had a property in Rockville that got 28 different offers on it. That meant 27 buyers were frustrated. And so because of that, I want to talk about some alternate strategies to find the right property where there's not nearly as much competition. So what we look at in the traditional search, we start with multiple lists. An agent's going to send a link to a bunch of properties that have been turned active, or even a little bit more proactively in the multiple list. We do have some properties that are coming soon. They're not yet available to be seen, to walk through to cross the threshold into the property, but we do know that they're coming. The second strategy many buyers are using is running around seeing different open houses, seeing what may or may not be coming up based upon what's open. And really what they're doing is they're finding out who their competitors are. They're in there with a bunch of other folks that are touring the homes. Really, it's their competitors. It's the other people that will be writing on those homes. A little bit spread out, doesn't cover all the market, but it is a fun way to spend a Sunday afternoon. And then probably the third resource that many folks are using is Zillow or some other sites that aren't updated quite as often. We're finding some folks that are getting a little bit frustrated when they see Zillow is taking a week or so to update properties that they thought were active. So traditional search, well, we'd like to layer in a thought in terms of a different approach to look at properties that are not yet on the market. So as we have a number of properties that have already traded in Montgomery County, we're probably, for each one that's already traded, we're going to have about 6 more come on the market over the next 90 days. These are folks that are sitting down at their dinner table having conversations about, are we going to sell this year? What does that look like? How do we need to stage the property? All those things that they're getting in line. They may be looking at what they're moving up to or whether they're moving out, looking at some other, but they're already in conversation. So for every house that's already sold, we've got about 6 that still will be coming on the market in the next 30, 60, 90 to 120 days. So why are we bringing that up? Of these 6 homes here that are illustrated for those that have already closed, those folks are in conversation right now. They're sitting down at their dinner tables having conversations in terms of what they're going to do to prepare the house. Where are they going? Are they staying local? Are they moving out of the marketplace? But very engaged already in the process, just haven't raised their hand publicly or not that publicly. So if we can put together a strategy to get in front of them based upon the neighborhoods and the homes that you'd like to look at, it can create a much better situation for you as a buyer and also for them as the seller, in that they don't need to expose their house to the entire marketplace and create this bidding war or whatever that creates a little bit of stress on both parties. In terms of the strategies we would put together to find that, it's based on a couple different premises. One, let's see who's already quietly raised their hand or is showing some signs of selling, and also targeting those that have not raised their hand. So if we're looking at those that have only quietly raised their hand, the first thing we look at on that is predictive analytics. So as real estate agents, we have different tools in the marketplace that we use that allow us to understand which houses are most likely within a neighborhood to sell. And they're scored anywhere from low, moderate to extremely high. Those folks that are extremely high are 5 times more likely than the average home to sell. So we know that they've quietly raised their hand that way. The other thing is folks that may have already been talking with our office or other offices. Those folks haven't decided to sign a contract yet, but have raised their hand. And then the last way is those that have identified themselves in one way or another with some predictive analytics in Facebook or other social media that they are actively looking. Many times we'll see these folks, they're looking for other properties, which gives us a clue that they've raised their hand that they're ready to sell this at some point in time. So these are those that have kind of quietly raised their hand, and then we look at those that haven't raised their hand but do match the criteria. So the best way that we have of finding them is social media. Facebook allows us to target it down to the individual address. Let's say that you only wanted a 3-level colonial that had a pool in a particular zip code. We can actually target each and every one of those via via Facebook, social media, and have it drop into that person's feed. Second way we do, much more old school and gets great results, and that's writing a personal handwritten note to those sellers or potential sellers that would specifically meet that criteria. Again, that would, in the case of the 3-level colonia with the pool, we pull that target audience and write them each a handwritten letter. Giving a little bit of your circumstances so they know that it's a real letter, raise their hand, and that can work well for you. The final tactic under that is actually door knocking in that particular area or those particular homes that would suit your needs. So these are the 5 different tactics we implement to find that right property for you that may not be on the market and create a better situation in the event that that right property is not on the market yet for you, or you're tired of the frustration of going through the auction process. If you have any question about this strategy, any of the tactics underneath of it, or any general real estate questions, just shoot me an email and I'd be happy to shoot a video and answer your question. Again, I'm Jeff Wheatley with the Suburban Properties Groups, and thank you for watching.